There's something magical about the aroma of those pine needles and the presence of a real tree at home. Christmas just wouldn't be the same without the atmosphere that the real Christmas tree creates. But should you have an artificial tree, a real tree, or should you rent a tree? Before you make a decision, let's have a look into these options. We're gonna start with a real tree. A real fresh cut tree that's grown locally uses less resources to get to you. Some trees are shipped in from forests in Norway if you live in Europe, or from Canada if you live in the US, which obviously increases that tree's carbon footprint. If you can, try to buy a real tree with an FSC logo or an organic tree approved by the Soil Association, because pesticides that are used to grow non-organic trees can be harmful to fragile ecosystems. The bonus of a living tree is that it naturally absorbs CO2, releases oxygen, and is a habitat for local wildlife. Real trees are renewable resources and are usually grown between 8 to 10 years before harvest and then continually replanted. Some councils even offer a free recycling service for real trees, where the trees are composted, but it's best to check in with that in your local area. Next one on the list is a potted living tree. They can be replanted once Christmas is over, but you have to make sure that it's a tree that's grown in the pot and not dug up and sucked in the pot just for transport to the shop. Quite often the roots will be damaged by doing this, and the chance of its survival until next Christmas is almost zero. And if you buy a pot-grown tree, you have to look after it and water it regularly. If it survives, it could last for numbers of years before it grows too large, and even then you could look on replanting it or passing it on to someone else. Another option would be to rent a living tree. Do you want a real tree but you don't have anywhere to put it or to replant it? Try renting one. There are companies that deliver trees right in front to your door, and they collect them after Christmas to reuse them year by year. A colleague at work has done this several years already. He says it's super easy to do, and all you have to do is simply Google if a company like this operates in your area. And of course there's the option of an artificial tree. The majority of artificial trees are made in China. They are made of different types of plastic and unfortunately are non-recyclable. In theory, the environmental impact of a fake tree lessens the more often you use it. However, you would have to use an artificial tree for around 10 years to equal the impact of a real tree, and most of them won't even last that long. Of course, if you get a well-made one, it can last well beyond this time, but it can also cost you a fortune. My grandparents got a really good one that they used for almost, 2 decades now, and they have carefully looked after it, packed it away every year. But still, when the time comes and it lasts Christmas, there's sadly only one option for it available. If you're looking to purchase an artificial tree, it is worth to check in with local charity shops, eBay, or even Facebook before you go and buy a new one. It can save you some money, and maybe it saves the tree from ending up in landfill. But you may also want to consider other options like using a branch or indoor plant. Decorate whatever you already have in your house. If you look on sites like Pinterest, there are so many beautiful handmade options available. Some of the ones I have seen include using pellets, sticks, and even letters. It seems that there are so many eco-friendly options available by using things you already have in your house anyway. Plus, it can be exciting to be creative and to repurpose something else. And of course, that's the option to get no tree at all. It's the option that we chose, and it's the most eco-friendly option, but of course, it's not a solution for everyone. Many of us simply can't afford to buy or rent a new local organic tree every year as much as we may want to. Being 100% sustainable in all areas of your life isn't always realistic, and so we have to focus on areas that are doable for us personally. Do the best you can, and if that means buying a plastic tree and using it for several years, so be it. But now I'm curious, what does a Christmas tree look like in your house? And do you maybe have other ideas or know other ways to make Christmas more eco-friendly? Please share your ideas in the comments below. I'm really excited to read them all. But that's it for this video. If you want more like this, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so we can see each other in the next video.